Greetings everyone, this is Connor from Dagora TV, and in this video I'm talking about the recent delay to Middle-earth Shadow of War. So this is a bit of news that came out just a couple of days ago as the time that this video has been put out. And originally we thought that Middle-earth Shadow of War was coming out on the 22nd of August, that was the original release date that Monolith and Warner Brothers put out for the game. But we found out in a post on the Warner Brothers blog that it's been pushed back to the 10th of October 2017 in the same year. So the delay is a little over a month, so it's not a ridiculous amount of long time, you know, it's not a huge pushback that we've got, you know, games like Final Fantasy 15 for instance, or Kingdom Hearts 3, which we still haven't got a release date for, which said the game was meant to be coming out in 2015, and you know, we're midway through 2017 now, nowhere to be seen. But Shadow of War been pushed back a few weeks. They said they want to, you know, like really kind of refine the game, get it down, you know, bug fix it quite a bit, you know, so it comes out in a clean, manageable state for when the game comes out. Because, you know, bug fixing, they want the game to be a clean product, because there's been a lot of games, you know, that have got flack for, you know, for coming out, you know, really kind of broken games. The ones that immediately come to mind is Batman Arkham Knight, you know, really suffered at launch on PC, especially for the amount of bugs that were in the game. Another one that comes to mind is Dishonored 2. Probably the fact that it sold less copies on PC was because, you know, it had a broken PC port at the start of the game time when it came out. Whereas with Shadow of War, pushing out to try and maybe avoid those kind of negative reviews and negative impressions by having a game come out at a later date with more bug fixing into it. Because think about it, you know, open world games are very, very hard to bug fix for, because, you know, the scope of them, the huge size of them. And this game, by the look of it, is going to be a lot bigger than its predecessor in the middle of Shadow of Mordor, which I must have done some really, really intense QA on that game, because I haven't really heard anyone that got many bugs in it. I didn't experience a bug myself, you know, and considering the amount of random, procedurally generated randomness in that game, when it comes down to enemy types, the fights that the enemies have, where they're spawning and things like that, it's very, very, very successful. And in this game, it's going to be harder when you're throwing a lot of different random elements into it, like fortresses and new creatures like dragons and drakes and stuff like that. And also, you know, different types of trolls and the different types of locations as well. And the amount of different zones in the game. It's going to be difficult, you know, to bug fix for. Way more difficult than what it was for Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. So you can see why they wanted to take the extra time. And a lot of people were saying, you know, why would they announce release date when they, you know, were kind of cutting it fine to begin with, you know, cutting it fine to get into that area, if they, you know, they weren't sure if they was going to be able to finish it or not. And the reason for that is because we were relatively close to release when, you know, the game was announced. It was only announced, I think, 2 months ago now, you know, beginning of April, and that's only 4 months away from when the game was meant to be coming out. And, you know, with it coming out in October now, we're 4 months away again, because, you know, it's pushed back, like I said. It's still fairly close to release, and, you know, it's only a small delay. It's nothing to, I think personally, to get mad about and crazy about, because it's still in that relatively good time period. I think it's just before the November run, you know, but again, it is what people call Broketober. We don't really fully have a full idea of what's going to be coming out in October. We've got E3 to wait for that goodness. But I do think that when it comes down to it for Shadow of War, I think, you know, the 22nd of August was a better release date for it, because it is before, you know, like what I was saying, Broketober and November. It's in a nicer position of that side of October, you know, at the beginning of October. It's still before, you know, the mammoth games like Call of Duty coming out. It's just after FIFA, I suppose, in those sport games, but, you know, it's going to be before any major Bethesda release day game, you know, like Wolfenstein or something like that. It's going to probably be before an Assassin's Creed, but it's in a good place. But if it was in that August 22nd, I think it would have seen better sales. But I do think they're relying on the fact that, you know, they are going to be able to bug fix and get the game down to a nice state to make the game better, and then spread like word of mouth, you know, over the course of time, because that does happen a lot. Like there's a lot of games that benefited from a delay. Like the ones that immediately come to mind for me is The Last of Us. You know, that was one that had a 13-week delay, just a couple of months before the game was announced, and it was a similar story with Uncharted 4 as well. That was a delay of about just over a month, and in the history of Naughty Dog, which is an article published a while ago now, I think it was 2014, when Colin Moriarty went over with IGN to interview a lot of people at Naughty Dog and produce a long article about them. And a lot of them credited the success of Last of Us to that 13-week delay that they had to really bug fix and make the game fixable, make it manageable to play and really clean. But this could be a similar story with Shadow of War, you know, like, do we, with having this extra delay, you know, just over a month, you know, 6-7 weeks that we're getting out of it, is that going to be able to clean the game down and really make it fun for us all and, you know, not really experience any bugs. Possibly, it's going to definitely give them more chance if they've got more time to do it. Then, if they've got less time, that's obviously, you know, sense, really. But there is, you know, obviously it's a bit, you know, it's obviously sadness, you know, that the game is delayed. You know, people were looking forward to it 22nd of August. I thought it was a nice date, and a bit before, you know, games that are going to be coming out at the end of this year. But, you know, there's not a lot we can do about that. You know, I would be disappointed if they pushed it back a full year, you know, and really tried to get it out in this time. And then that would have maybe worried me a bit if they were trying to rush the game. But it's such an inconsequential amount of time, you know. I think it's just a nice period of, you know, being able to bug fix and really get a good clean game out. So let me know what you guys think. You know, I really want to hear your opinions. Are you upset with the delay? Are you kind of positive about it? There's a lot of people that, you know, haven't really got angry about the delay. I think they kind of still see it as, yeah, you know, it's fine. You know, it's just kind of clogged up a little bit with a load of other games, which I'm gonna have to get through. But it's in a nice, it's still in a good period of time, in my opinion. Like, I will reiterate the point, you know, 22nd of August I think is nicer, but games come out all over the year, you know, so we don't even know if there is going to be, you know, other games coming out in August. We'll find out a lot of that out at E3, and we'll see really what's going to be happening around for what is going to compete with, and it's going to be interesting to see how it sells now in October. It would have been nice to have had that comparative data from when Shadow of Mordor came out, because I remember Shadow of Mordor was actually brought forward a week, and they did that thing of when a lot of games were getting delayed in 2014, you know, there's a lot of games getting pushed back into the early part of the year after, whereas Shadow of Mordor was like kind of in a little bit of a protest against it, kind of brought it forward a week, whereas with this is kind of a little bit of an anticlimactic point, you know, doing that before and then putting it back 7 weeks. But I still think the game's going to be really enjoyable. I'm looking forward to playing it. I still think that this is going to benefit the game nonetheless. But let me know what you think. Send in your comments about what you think about the delay. Do you think the game's really going to truly benefit? And I'll definitely look forward to kind of talking to you in the comments. Make sure you subscribe for more Shadow of War content, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.